How about you just say hi to my cat? Say hi, Heidi. Let's say hello. Hello. Okay. Get it. All right. Hi. Klow here. So like, I don't really know. Jesus Christ, cat. Sorry. I don't really know what to even talk about right now, but the topic that I had was first times. And my first time having a cat is, it's alright, except keeps jumping all over the place. But so I was gonna start with this here is my first video, so it's gonna take a while to get used to a camera in your face. Anyways, the number one thing. Okay. Okay, so this is my first video. I've never created another video. I mean, I have, but I think I got like 9 views on it. It was also my first animation. It wasn't really anything big, but it was just like, I did it on my phone. Yeah, so my first video was an animation that I did on my phone, and that app that I used, I don't remember the name, but actually I think I used 2 different apps. But that app I ended up deleting because it didn't have the stuff to interest me. But then I downloaded another app, and that app was Animator. And I started animating this other thing on there. It's like, it's kind of weird. It's like 2 guys in like a spaceship, and then it came down to Earth. And like I animated it so you can see like the shadow getting bigger until it lands, and then like it has like smoke and everything. I was so proud of that. I showed my sister, I showed everybody, and then when I started running out of storage, I ended up deleting the app, forgetting to save it. So when I went into my my gallery and everything, you know, searching for it, I realized that I accidentally deleted it. That just like ruined my whole animation mood. Except I still really do love animation though. So that's like my first video. This is like my first video to communicate with.
I cannot say what is wrong with my hands today.
Real people. And yeah. The other thing kind of another first time that I had was my first time on a plane. My God, that was nerve-wracking for me because I hold on one second. All right, sorry. But yeah, my first time on a plane was nerve-wracking. Honestly, when the plane was taking off, I think my mom still had the video of me doing that, but I was holding on to the armrest, and I was like pushing myself up because like it's going up and it just feels weird. So I was like, ooh. And they like my sister and my mom was sitting like across the aisle from me and my brother, and they were just pointing at me and laughing, bruh. I was so I was so embarrassed afterwards, but you know, what the heck. I also have a first time on a roller coaster. That was really fun. It was at this field trip that I went on to, it's called Quasi. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to move on was my first time moving. I'm sorry, I started laughing maniacally. Anyways, but my first time moving. So it would be from my country to America. But then in my head when writing this, I was like, oh, first time moving from this state to the next state. But yeah, from my country to America, it was. I really miss my family that I stayed with. A lot of misses. Heidi, please stop. Thank you. Okay, this next one is kind of first time making friends, at least like making American friends, you know, like Americanized people. Yeah, so it's like, okay, my first time making friends in America, it wasn't really that bad. I don't even remember how I made them. I didn't remember how I made those people my friends or whatnot, but there are stories, particularly one that I remember, but that's for another one, another video, if you want to stick around. See that, right? Anyways, so middle school through high school you're an adult, you know, it's like, oh, I'm mature, I got boyfriends, I dated Trayvon, Tavon, Carabon, Mavon. Like, have you seen those quadruplets? You know, that's how they be bragging and everything. I can literally just go to like my first date. It was awkward. Well, I mean, it wasn't that awkward since we knew each other. I think you'd say it's through a mutual friend, I guess. But, yeah. It was his friend, but I talked to his friend sometimes. And his friend said, oh, you know him? And I was like, yeah, I know him. And he's like, oh, why don't you date? I'm like, He's like, yeah, it's fine. And it's funny, his friend likes him. So I'm like, why don't you date? He's like, he ain't gonna find me attractive. Next one was, sorry, 1 second. Oh, I can't spell. Okay. This one was like a story about going to the board, like, you know, the whiteboard or the chalkboard. Or, anyways. Ah, sweet. Heidi's sleeping. Yay. But, yeah, my first time going up to the board. I was in math class. Oh, man, I love that math teacher, except I'm terrible at math. But she called me up, and she was like, could you explain this to the class, or like, can you solve this? And, as you not, I went up there, and I was like on the board, and I was like, I was like, do you know what this plus this equal? And I asked the entire class, and then she's like, no. She said, no, Klow, like, solve it, like, answer the question. I'm like, oh, and I swear to God, my face was serious. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. It was like 2 plus 2, 4. And she's like, oh, thank you, Klow. Go sit down now. I'm like, oh, okay. And when I sit down, people are looking at me. I'm like, what? Any more first times that I can talk about? Nope, sorry. I just sat here for like a good 30 seconds now, and oh, it's more like 10 seconds. It's about how I want to start this one. I'll catch y'all on the flip side of when you subscribe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like and subscribe. And if you have any questions about that entire video, please bombard the comments.